It doesn't matter how far from the sea Bengalis end up, they'll still search out fish for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Isn't that right, Jayanti?
Very true.
Now, what is it about this prawn dish that makes it such a real Bengal classic?
It is a beautiful dish. Taste and aroma are fantastic.
I'm very, very particular about the cooking of prawns. Love the idea of these flavours working with it. But for me, it's all about that lovely, soft tenderness of the prawn you need. And I can imagine that with the creaminess of the coconut being so succulent. So I think it's time for us to start cooking. First of all, we've got the prawns. Now, these do look so good. I mean, look at them, the size of them. As you can see, they're so meaty. They're like sort of almost little prawn steaks, you know, with all that texture. Yes. So I think particularly when they're this kind of size, it's very important that we keep them succulent all the way through.
Yes, and also the head, if you cook it with the head, it imparts a special flavor. If you like, after the dish is done, you can remove the heads. Because people are not very dexterous at eating the head.
Right, fabulous. So the first thing we're going to do, in fact, is just season these up. Now, do we use turmeric and just a little salt on
this?
Yes. Okay. Now, do you usually do this quite liberally, or just a little?
Just a little, because you add turmeric to the main dish.
Oh, I see. So basically we're going to recapture that sort of colour, flavour in the actual dish itself. And then we can turn these over, get some more on there. Now, they look nice already. They really do. And I think as they start to cook together, we'll pick up this really nice flavour and colour coming from them.
Yes.
And now we're just using just straight vegetable oil for this, so really quite simple. It's enough, I think. Just make sure we've covered the pan there. And now prawns go in.
Yes.
All of them in, why not? This first stage is just allowing them to just lightly saute. But we're not actually sort of cooking them through at this point. So just
the colour will change.
You see, that's the kind of thing, isn't it? Straight away, that's what we want.
Now you can see the colour, the orange.
Oh, lovely. You see, now we've got it happening there on the actual shell as well. That's the colour we're after, really, isn't it? So we'll leave those for another few seconds, then we'll lift those out, yeah?
Yes.
Just to give a bit more of a seal on them. There's one more under there who's hiding.
And the colour is enhanced with the sprinkling of the turmeric that you put in.
Yeah. So, first stage then, as you can see, prawns beautifully coloured off here, still not cooked, so they're just starting that warming process, which is lovely. I think they look sensational. They really do look good. The next thing is to add some of the ghee.
Yes.
Now this ghee, can I just ask, that's very different from what I've seen, because usually it's quite white, and this is brown.
Yes, it has been matured a little bit more in the pan.
Right, okay. How much do we need to use?
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
That's it.
Okay. I think if we were cooking this at our wok at home, we'd really be quite shocked, wouldn't we, about that quantity of fat. But now we're going to go with the dry spices.
The whole spices.
So you've got some whole cardamom, lightly cracked.
And they've, been
just
cracked.
To release their flavour. Bits of cinnamon stick here. Drop those in. Some cloves, 4 cloves is enough.
Slight flavour.
Just to give enough there. Okay.
And the bay leaf.
Just a couple of bay leaves there.
And whole red chilies.
Now these look very, very nice, these 2 red chilies, don't they?
They will impart colour. As it cooks in the juice, it will impart colour to the dish.
Lovely. We're just going to allow those to simmer, sort of just for a minute or 2?
Yes.
So what you're doing, you're releasing their flavour already.
Yes.
They're starting to actually have an effect on the taste of the actual oil itself.
Great. Now you
Ready
can
to
put
go?
in the onion.
I want everybody to see this. This literally has been just grated, hasn't it?
Yes.
So in with the onion.
It's like a puree.
Does this look right?
Yes, you have to add the sugar now.
Okay, and how much sugar do we need?
The whole thing.
The whole thing? So quite a lot of sugar here. As you can see.
Bengalis use sweet in many of their dishes.
Right.
To temper the taste.
Okay, and we've also got ginger.
Ginger.
All of this?
Yes.
So just grated ginger. All we're going to do is allow these to soften. Now we're going to add even more spices, and I hope everybody can see this actually. Just let me show, because they have nicely browned. They've got that colour, but they're not actually burning.
No.
And
that's
I think
just
that's
how
possibly,
we want them.
Yeah, exactly. Glad to hear that actually. It got one stage right. Okay, so the next thing you've got cumin, yes?
Yes. You can put the whole lot in.
Put the whole lot? Are you sure?
Yes.
There's an awful lot of cumin.
Doesn't matter. Got an awful lot of prawns.
I think I should stop there.
A little bit more.
So I've got to negotiate these things. And chili?
Yes. This is the Kashmiri chili, which has more color and less pungency.
Oh, I see, right.
So it's very good on the palate.
Can you be a little bit more adventurous with it? Okay, well, I'll go to that stage.
Yes.
And a touch more of the turmeric, maybe just 1 spoon. Well, we'll go a bit more. That's a bit colourful.
Yes. There.
Now, I have to say, it smells gorgeous, and I think that colour, you know, the colour of it all, look at it. It really does look good. So here we've just got coconut milk, haven't we?
Yes, yes.
And I'm going to pour all of this in. Look at that. That looks fabulous. Now let's give that a stir. And I'm just going to allow that for 30 seconds to cook out those spices a bit before I add the prawns back. And just continue the warming of them. And I like to call it, you see now, I have to say warming. I'm very particular about cooking shellfish. And I like that just to be, in fact, can I turn that down?
Yes.
I'm getting yeses, that's a good sign. So, you know, one thing that I notice here, that you've supplied us with a bottle of water. Always for thinning slightly if necessary. In fact, I think we should put a little touch in there. That's better, isn't it? Because that's going to give us a better all-round coating on the prawns. Yeah, now that looks good. Time for our friends here to go back in. And these look lovely. I mean, what I like about this is this beautiful meatiness you're going to get from this. And the flavour, as you said, that the shell is going to add to it is really going to be quite sensational. And notice here as well how I've collected the juices. And this is important, you know, because...
Pour it back in.
Just flavour always going back into the finished dish. So you've seen really how easy it is. You don't need to overplay with this dish. It really starts to just speak for itself, doesn't it? We're very close on some of these. There's 1 or 2 that are slightly softer. It's just trying to get that even cooking in the pan. Can I just get a little spoon in there? Because this is one thing that's so important to me, is about taste. Oh, that's good. And you've got this lovely coconut, which really you can be as liberal or as careful as you like. And maybe a
little more salt.
Touch more salt.
Because it's slightly sweet. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Now this is the freshly ground garam masala. It's cinnamon, cloves, and cardamoms.
Right.
It's optional.
I think we will. Just a little touch. You don't really need much, do you? Now I'll do a little plate up of just a few of these because I think it will look sensational. Just showing them off, and then we'll get some sauce to go with it. Look at these. And that you can see now that they're going to be absolutely packed with flavour. I mean, even just looking at a couple like that, and we'll just do this little drizzle around here. Look at this. There we are. So, as you can see, quite a simple dish, but really packed with flavour. Have we got some green coriander? Lovely. Fresh coriander.
See how the orange and the green mingle and makes it look so good? You like?
Do I like? That is, you've got to try it and tell me what you think, Jayanti. It is so succulent. The great thing is the whole flavour of the prawn, because they're so big, so succulent, the natural flavour of the prawn itself has not been taken away. You saw how quick it is to cook in the pan, but there's this wonderful surround of the spices that just really give you lovely little kicks here and there. Absolutely delicious.
It is tender, but still crunchy.
Absolutely. You've got that little crunch on the outside, but soft in the centre.
Yes. Why don't you
jealous? Come and have a little taste, because I think you're going to like this. It's so good. It's really delicious. You should get all hands in here, I'm afraid. Oh, it's hot. There you go. Have a taste of that.
Water.
Hands in, go for it.
It's really moist.
So moist all the way through, isn't it? Delicious. That's good cooking.
That's really nice.
In fact, that's good Bengali cooking.
Thank you, Gary.